In this video, we're gonna do something different. I bought a weight loss thing called Mounjaro, and I have it here. I have the medicine. So I'm gonna open the package and I'm gonna show you what's inside. But this is one of those miracle drugs that everybody talks about it on the internet. And as you can see on this image, there's lots of girls and guys that they say, this is me before, that's me after. You can find even more information if you look on the internet on Mounjaro. You can see some results that are quite difficult to believe, even for me. But after I've done some serious research, I found that many people have benefited, even though 1 in 10 doesn't actually get affected. Most of the people they do get significant weight loss from this. Now, most of people would wonder why do I look at weight loss? That's going to come at the end because I'm not fat. I'm not, medically, the calculation that the NHS does is different. So I do lots of sports, so I'm not really one of those puffy guys. But medically, I will show you the calculations on the body mass index. According to the NHS, I need to drop my weight. I'm gonna come about me towards the end. Let's focus on the Monjaro, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit more about reasons why you should consider doing it or not. And again, although I have a doctor title, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a doctor I have a PhD in computer science, so it's quite different than medicine. Please don't think this is any form of medical advice. I have no association with Monjaro or anybody about recording this video. I just bought a package. I got the package from the internet, and I will record a video. I'm going to show you what do you get in the package, how to use it. Actually, I just watched one video for a few seconds, so probably I'm gonna I'm gonna struggle to make it work. But as you can see, these results from other people, they're the expected weight loss. And if there's one person saying it, then maybe it's just, like a fake report. But because there are so many people talking about it and how their weight loss journey has been affected, how people have been able to lose weight. And again, if you see like the image here that somebody has serious weight problems because of childbirth or because of whatever reason, surgeries, then I think this is a valid reason, so especially when you see before and after on the images like this. Clearly, obesity is a big problem, and you should take action after consulting with your GP. But there's loads of people who are quite fit and they do this for stupid reasons. So you see that person over here, he's already within the health range, but they want to get lighter and lighter and lighter, so they're going to damage and ruin their health just because they want to get ripped. So if you are one of those people, a girl that looks like that, I really don't think that you need to worry. This is all in your head. Most guys, they wouldn't really take notice of that. But if you are somebody with serious, weight condition that it's damaging your health and your doctor is saying that you need to take this medicine, then maybe consider getting it on private because on the NHS you need to wait a long time. I know that I qualify. That's how I bought it, but I've been waiting for months and I still haven't got it. If I get it, then clearly I will stop buying it on private. But I will talk about the cost. I will talk about everything. Now, this is Monjaro. This is how it looks. When we open the package, this is what you should expect to see in there. Injections. So here you turn that to set it up to the correct dosage. This is the pen, and then I imagine you add something here like a needle, and the needle should be in the box that I bought, and then you inject it into fat area. So you shouldn't inject it in your hands because you see there's no fat, so you should inject it maybe in this area because there's some fat there. Or if you have fatter areas in your legs, in your stomach, that is the only thing that I know. You need to inject it in the area that has a fat. So you pinch the fat, you inject the needle, and I will do that in the next few minutes. So just let's go first with what kind of Mounjaro and different pills that you can get. I will show you why I got this one because there are various different options. And I've done research, and according to the internet, this is the best option. Uh, and most people get different results. If it doesn't work for me, this is a note. They've done lots of studies on this work, and they say for 1 person in 10, it doesn't work. Then, if it doesn't work for me, I'll change it and I'll get different prescription. But on this one, apparently people lost like 22% of their body weight, as opposed to some of the other pills that people lost maybe just 5% of their body weight, like Ozempic. And I don't really know the names. I just know this one is proven in studies to be the most effective. That's why I start with this one. Now, you know what it looks, you know what you should expect. This is the injection, so that's how you inject it into your. And I see, I've seen one or two videos with really weight obese people saying, screaming and shouting, "Oh, it hurts! How can that needle hurt?" This is more like I think most of the people who they exaggerate, and that is why I wanted to try it for myself. I don't even know if it's gonna work, and maybe some of these images here, maybe that's also exaggeration, because I can take a picture of me after dinner, I'm gonna look much bigger. I can take a picture after the gym, and I'm gonna look very fit. So it depends on the angle that you take the picture. Maybe, but sometimes when you see something like this, it's either Photoshop or it's real, because you cannot fake that difference. So this is about Mounjaro. Let me close this one to so I don't come back to this. They have different levels, so probably this is the last thing that you need to know. So you see here they have 2.5. You start with that, then you increase to 5, then 7.5, then 10, then 12, then 15. Why? Because your body gets used to it. So the more you use it, you use one measure, for example, 2.5. One needle would last you 4 weeks, 1 month, and this would last you, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 months. And the NHS recommendation is that you use it for 12 months, just so you start developing the better eating habits. So uh, you don't get into this habit of just injecting yourself. At some point, you need to stop, because this, as any drug, would stop being effective on your body. And once that happens, you don't see much benefit. You have to take a break and come back to it at a later stage. But the idea for me is to develop healthy eating habits and not just continue, but make some changes and then see if it's gonna work. So I'm closing this one. So we have seen loads of different results. As you can see, some people have severe medical problems, and they have been able to turn their lives around. I have seen many YouTube videos with girls saying that they are getting many looks and attention because of their increased weight, and they feel like before they were invisible, and now that everybody is smiling and being very positive to them, that just tells you a lot more about the mankind. So this is a health thing. If you are doing this, be sure that you're doing it for the health reasons, because most of these injections, they do have some side effects. So if you're in even this person is not really that big in order to take these steps, you need to get your doctor to confirm that. But again, when I see some people that they're in what I would consider fairly fit category, and they just want to do this for whatever reasons, this is an example. So how does that look better than this? It doesn't. Sometimes girls can go crazy. They just want to get slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. Um, so on that, and this is how you inject it. So that's an example of how you would inject it. And I'm going to do that when I unpack. Now, moving on from that one, and this is the example that I showed you. How would I suggest that you check if you're qualifying for this or not? First, you speak to your GP. That's the most important thing. But second, you type body mass calculator, and NHS is in the UK. That's the National Health Service. So if you type that, the first calculator would show up. And here you need to type your height and your weight and ethical background, and then it will give you your body mass index. And if you're above 30, then you would usually qualify, even for a free prescription. Just that in the UK, there's a very long waiting list to get it, so you might not get it. I'm going to talk about what kind of other conditions do you need to have in order to get it faster. So if you have body mass index of 30 plus, there's a different report that I will show you. Then just go to your GP, request it. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. But another thing to mention here is that before we do the body mass index calculation, is that Mounjaro, the reason why I'm not so afraid of using it is that it has been used for a long time for diabetes. So there's a link here. You see that one, diabetes.uk. And the name is different of the drug, but just the name. The actual medicine has been used to treat diabetes for many, many years. And there's no significant side effects from people that have diabetes. Obesity is a disease. So if you do this for the right reasons, and with the supervision from your GP, this is not something that you should I don't know. I'm not a GP. I'm a fake doctor. I have a PhD in computer science. So what do I know? I bought a package. I'm gonna inject it, and I'll tell you the results. For anything more, speak to your GP. I did speak, for the record. I did speak with my GP, and my GP recommended it. So let me show you why. So first, here you see this drug has been used for treating diabetes for many, many years. Let's go to the calculator. If I start the calculator, so you can do this here. You need to, what is your height? Your height in centimeters, let's say it's 180. That's not my correct one. I just don't want to give my personal data on the internet, but it's not that far. I'm around 6 foot. And then 120 is my body mass in kilogram, let's say. You can go there and you can switch to stone and pounds. So if you want to use a different measurement. And clearly I'm white, and now it's going to calculate. So according to this measure, I'm in the obese category. So you see this is obese, and I'm towards the end of this, what is considered obese. After that is morbidly obese, or I don't know, medically obese. This, or I don't even if they have a category after that. So according to this, I'm in that category. So if you're higher than the 30%, which is just overweight, so if you're not overweight, but if you're into this category of obese, and if you're especially if you're closer towards the end of that, then you need to speak to your GP and get an advice depending on other medications that you take. Is this recommended for you or not? Um, so body mass, here's another explanation. Body mass of 30 or more is classified as obese. It's very easy calculator. And how do you get to this? You just type body mass in the BMI calculator, NHS, and you will get the official from the UK National Service. Now, this is Mounjaro. It's also been approved by the European Medicines Agency, and they're using it. So here there's a loads of description, and that gives me another confidence level why I should not really be that worried about using it. However, there's some side effects, and side effects for this kind of medicines are not always visible straight away. Who knows? Maybe 10 years from now, they'll discover that this has been extremely damaging medication, but so far there is no such reports. And again, I have no association with Mounjaro. I'm not a medical doctor, so this is not a sponsored video. Just a guy who bought a injection because he watched too many videos on the internet from people having significant results in losing weight, and I want to try this. I spoke to my GP. My GP recommended it, so I'm doing it. And what else? If let's go into how do you buy it? Well, this is Boots. And you can definitely get it from Boots if you wanted to. However, so this is the different levels. The prices are a little bit high. If you're in the UK, you know Boots very well. If you're not from the UK, it's one of the biggest pharmacies in the UK. In the US, they have like CES pharmacy. Different countries have different pharmacies. This is one of the biggest one in the UK. You see that the cost of a pen is 219 pounds. Boots is very good at discounts. So at some point you would see 50% discount, and then maybe Boots is going to be the cheapest place to buy it from. At this present moment, I paid 126, and this is 219. So basically, it's almost £100, 94, 90. I'm not going to do maths on the internet. I'm not going to risk it, but it's quite a lot less I paid than that. And as you can see, when you increase the dosage, even that increases the price increases. So you're going to get more and more and more in terms of cost per month that you have to pay. So this is the highest dosage of 15 milligram. We start with 2.5 milligram. That's the one that I have here in the box. That's the one that I'm going to show you. So let's close this one as well. Another report, NHS England. This is approved by the NHS England for use in the United Kingdom. So I'm not. It's starting to sound to me like I'm a marketing campaign for Mounjaro. Actually, on the NHS England, there's quite a lot of different medicines. This is just one of them. This one is also approved by Govni, but the waiting list is very long. Now, final thing before we actually start looking at the package that I have. So before we start looking at opening this one, final thing, this is a BBC report. So GPs started to prescribe Mounjaro in the UK, but they have very strict rules. What are those rules? So according to this report from BBC, by the way, so BBC is a reliable source. According to that, because when the GP sends the prescription, they go to a different company, clinic, and that clinic needs to approve it. So your GP might refer you, but that clinic also needs to refer that. That's the clinic that makes the final decision. And according to this report, that clinic would be looking at body mass of 40%. So that is significantly higher than the 30% that your GP would suggest. So in this clinic, because they have so many people that want to get this medicine, according that's like the criteria that they have, and they need to have 4 out of 5 of the following conditions. So that's key thing. So 4 out of these 5 conditions. So here the list lists 5 things. You need to have 4, and you need to have body mass index of 40. That is, if you have that, then you're probably gonna get it from the NHS. Even if there is a little bit of waiting, you're gonna get it. So what are the 4 conditions? Type 2 diabetes. Well, that criteria is stupid, because if you have type 2 diabetes, you will get Mounjaro for your diabetes treatment. Yeah, so why would you get it for fat loss when you're already taking it for diabetes? That doesn't make sense. And sometimes they put these kind of tricky conditions just to say that it's available, but actually it's not available. So, it's always been available for people with diabetes. It's a medicine for treating diabetes. Now it's been adjusted, the name has been changed, and it's sold for weight loss. So that's the first one. The second one is high blood pressure, which I think I do. Heart and vascular diseases. I don't even know what that means. Probably you have it. Probably I have it since I have high blood pressure. High cholesterol, I have that. So they've done blood tests and I have it. And obstructive sleep apnea. I have that one as well. It's a result of the weight. If you carry too much weight, you're gonna start getting these kind of conditions. So this is it. Now, just one or two more sentences of why am I taking it, just not to give you the wrong impression that you should take it. I'm taking it because I had a sport injury just before COVID started. That's 1 week, really bad timing, and I couldn't do any sports outdoors. The gyms was closed, and I was limping on my leg, so I had knee surgery, knee problem from running, and so which means I had to comfort myself with eating cakes throughout the whole COVID pandemic. And I thought, well, when things go back, I will lose it. But then the hospital was full of patients, and they couldn't do the knee surgery, which means I waited 3 years. So 3 years I was quite not very mobile, and the gyms were closed for a long period of time. They opened the pubs, but not the gyms, and as a result, well, we see. Um, and now I've been trying to lose weight, but I developed a taste for cake. And apparently, according to what they say, this medicine will kill that taste for cake, and hopefully I'll develop eating habits. I do have intentions to do sports as well, not just to take this medicine and do nothing. My life is a bit of a up and down at the moment, so I will show you how my life looks, but you can always find a way how to do it. So, for example, to measure I don't have a tape measure, so to measure my tape around the waist, I can use this. This is a cable for my iPhone, and I can use a little bit of this duct tape. Hold on, where is it? Duct tape. So that's something that I've stripped from my suitcase. I do have equipment to exercise even when I travel. So I'll show you. I bought those from Amazon. So I'm not planning just to take medicine. I'm planning to exercise. Those are elastic bands, and they were very popular during COVID. Now nobody's using it. Now, just to give you a little bit of a background more, when you notice problems like difficulty breathing when you sleep, and you have to use things like this. So this is strips for. Hold on, why am I pointing? The camera is this way. I do have a second camera here, which is for opening the package. So, and I keep looking at that one, but that's not the camera that I use. So I use those. Those are strips that you put on your nose so you can breathe at night, because I get sleep apnea. About those, you have to put them into your nose. And apparently they help you breathe better. They don't. Nothing actually helps. Uh, I have this medicine, which is you're supposed to use it for 7 days, and I've been using this since COVID, and I use it every day. I have multiple versions, and they stop working. So you have the one without medicine, and you have the one with medicine. And once the one with medicine stops working, there's nothing more that you can do. You have to really lose weight. And series of other health conditions that they happen when you get too heavy. So on that note, I think I have explained in very detail why am I taking it. And now I'm going to show you around the, if you have any excuses for doing sports or doing something, I'm just going to show you that everybody has these difficulties. And when you start taking this, again, don't rely just on the medicine. I feel guilty if I showed you this and if I lose a lot of weight in a few weeks' time and everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, let's take the medicine. Medicine is always the last resort. So let me show you around why, for me, for example, having a settled life and gym, it's not always a possible for many people. So let me just turn the camera around. So this is the camera that I'm gonna use for, hold on, this one should start connecting now. And there we are. So that is the camera. I'm just gonna turn it around to show you a few things. So this is how I sleep. I don't even have a pillow. So I sleep on a bucket, and this is my bag. I'm constantly on the move because of work. So I have to keep them in some storage spaces. And as you can see, everything here, it's very much a hotel place. And on that note, let's start looking at the package, because I believe I explained in detail. It's not that I'm being lazy. I'm not suggesting that you should be lazy either. I'm just saying, hold on, why is that one there? I'm just saying sometimes life doesn't give you an option to be as disciplined. So if somebody's watching this and judging and saying, ah, yeah, but you need to go to the gym. Well, I've been going to the gym since I was 16 and I really love going to the gym. Sometimes that's not an option. And somebody will say, well, you need to eat healthy and cook. Well, let me show you. When you're constantly on the travel, I use this just for water. I don't even have, if I want a glass of water, I don't even have a glass. And if you're doing a postdoc, that's just heads up. This is the life of a postdoc until you get the professor position, which is not easy to get. You're gonna have to be very flexible, travel, go to different, you have to specialize in multiple universities, and it's just a normal requirement. It is what it is, and it comes as it comes. So let me have a drink of water, and maybe I should do the tape measure first before I go into that. So I'm gonna do that. So how do I recommend that you do this? I don't recommend anything. I recommend that if you have a good life, maybe you should use a tape measure. But since I don't have that as an option, I'm gonna give you alternative. And I'm not gonna get naked here like other people and show you my chubby bits. If you leave the t-shirt is the, that one extra centimeter that is causing problems for you, you're very lucky. So the idea here is to determine this is my waist. So hold on. You need to breathe out. I'm breathing out, and this is my waist. And the only thing that I want to know if this will change, if this is going to give me space. So how do I measure this? Well, this is why you need to have PhD. You know, there you are. I have put this tape measure over here. So now the next time when I record this, and if this goes like this, that means that it's working. And that's the only measurement that I'm really concerned about. Some people would take measurements of their arms and their neck and their ears and everything. And clearly, when I was younger, maybe when I was a gym fanatic, I was also excited about those things. And people say, well, you're going to lose muscle and you're going to do yada, yada, yada. Well, so what? So what if I lose muscle? I need to lose weight. I have medical issues that they're problematic. And because of that, I need to take medicine. If you don't have those issues, then don't take the medicine. You go to the gym and do what your doctor will tell you. Now let's open the package. This is how you're gonna get it. So it's not gonna be an embarrassment to you. You're gonna get it into a nicely packaged thing with a cushy thing, so it's not gonna break. Uh, I have to drink water because I'm not used to talking too much. Now I have to cut it with scissors. That's not, that's the last thing on my worries. I'm just opening it and let's see what kind of content do you get in Mounjaro. Also, just to say, they offered me. Now, I don't want the pharmacy I don't want to say bad things about the pharmacy. I will tell you at the end how did I choose and why did I choose the cheapest one. Just wanted to open the package finally. Um, and then I will tell you. Actually, I used ChatGPT to decide which one is best, and then I did my research. The one that I chosen was the fastest for delivery, as the pharmacy was the kind of relatively cheap, the same cost, but you had to wait a few days for the delivery. These guys were faster. As the pharmacy in the UK had two certifications, this one only had one. I will show you that at the end. Let's get on with the video. But they offered me, just to show you, they offered me a package for needle for disposal, for garbage. I said I don't want it. It's free. You can get it if you want it. I just didn't want it. I didn't want it. So, and probably they said, yeah, that's the disposal. So you can get it even if you say you don't want it. This is there's some kind of needles. You need to dispose them over there, but I have to move house day after tomorrow. Clearly, I don't have space to carry disposal for needles. Plus, there's loads of damaging things in the garbage that can cut you. You shouldn't be touching. Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe you need this. Maybe you need. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody has a different situation. Oh, there we are. There we are. So this, I have no idea what's this liquid. Coffin packing. So this must be something just with the packing, I assume. I don't know why they would include this, and I have no idea what you would do with that. That is just, I guess, to trick people that there's something in there. And I didn't. It feels like water, but this is not needed. Those two, I'm not gonna use them. Not now. This it's empty now. So it's like kind of like a blanket material. It's it's I don't know how to explain it, but it's not just a bag. It's something with like a blanket here. So blanket within the plastic. Okay, so there we are. Now we have the most important part here. Let's open this. And I watched one video on how to prime it. So if I face some issues, at least you're gonna see them. And hold on, you need to wash your hands. I don't have anything to wash my hands. I'm gonna do this. Ah, go away. So I'm gonna wash my hands with this tissue, wet tissue. I don't know how good that is. And they say also you should wipe the surface. And by now, if you're a medical doctor, you're probably screaming. You probably have a lot more sophisticated medical procedure than me. But yeah, it is what it is. This one goes over there as well. So we have left with, I guess this is the pen, and I guess those are the needles. And those are the only two things that you need. Now, they're going to give you these wipes as well. And from what I have watched nurses in the GP, you when they give you injections of blood, something they always wipe the area that they can inject you. And I also watched the video that you have to wipe this one before you use it. I don't know why so much hassle, but that's what they recommend. So this is how it looks. In case you haven't seen it, this is the first time I actually see it and I hold it in my hand. This is the 2.5. This is the beginning, the smallest one. It has this 2.5 here as well. This is how you unmount it. I guess you roll that one and then it comes out. It comes in a nice package. Everything seems, okay. So let's do it. Let's do it. Now here you get instructions. Uh, I'm not gonna read. There's more instructions, so they're gonna give you more warning signs, but I think I have covered all that in the beginning, so I think I know this. I know what I know what to expect. So here we are. Now there are two steps. First, you need to prime it. First, you need to open this. It's open, and that's liquid inside. You cannot see it, but there's liquid there. I don't know if I bring it closer, if it makes any difference, but this part is full of medicine. So that's the medicine, and this is just a mechanism that's going to push the medicine out through the needle. But here, that's for the entire month's supply. As you can see, it has these lines. So you can see those lines over there, and those lines are dose. So this is the first dose here, second, third, fourth, and I think at the end this is going to be left over. So that's going to be for the bin. They say don't use it. I have seen some people suck it out from here with a syringe and they use it, but that is just for priming. It's not that the medicine is not good at the very last end over there. It's just that it's for priming. Priming means that you spray a little bit. So how do we do this? Let's start. That one. This one is the clean wipe. So with this one, you wipe that area first. That's what they say in the instructions that I watched on another video that they have recorded. And then on your belly, which is going to be, I don't know if I can lift that way, but you have to rub a little bit on your belly. And I couldn't really fit that in the camera. I'm going to try to move the camera once I have done the priming. Now this needs to go out. And my biggest worry is that I'm going to screw up. I'm not worried about pain or anything. I'm a blood donor. My biggest worry that I'm gonna screw up and it's 120 odd pounds. So this one is done. So I'm gonna try to remove the cap. And I'm trying to move it. Ah, okay. The cap has been removed. And there's something here, something green. I guess that needs to come out. Yeah, yeah. And now you can see the needle is very small. If I can show you the needle, you see how small that needle is? I don't know why some people scream and shout and it hurts. You think like it's in your head, man. How can this needle hurt? That's a mosquito bite. Um, Now we need to prime it. And this is a trick I've seen on the instructions that they show you on the internet. Now you have to move this 2 clicks, then spray a little bit out of there, and then roll this one down to the actual dosage, which for this one, as it says here, it's 2.5. So let's do this 2 clicks. And when you do the 2 clicks, I don't know even know what should happen. I know that it needs to be a little bit of drop of medicine coming out of there. That means that there is no oxygen in there. So let's do this, and they say do that, and then there's something needs to spray out of there now, and nothing sprayed. So I'm gonna increase this by one more, push that, and I can see a little drop over there came out. So that is enough. Let's save the medicine. I know the last part is going to be waste, and I'm not going to be putting syringes there. I know that last part is going to be waste, but let's get to the last part and then throw it away as opposed to. So now I need to roll this one, and you see you're rolling. It should be very simple. This should go all the way down to 2.5, all the way as long as it goes. Why is it not? Okay, all the way to 1. Not to 2.5, all the way to 1. So this 1 means that is one dosage, one shot. And then next time, I guess you do it again, and then you get the second shot, third shot. This should be 4. Should be 4 here. Maybe they have changed this because many people were talking about using syringe to extract that. So now let's find a good spot so you don't see too much of my chubby bits. As you can see, I know I look not very fat, but actually I am a bit on the chubby side. So now you pinch this and then you inject this deep and then you press. It needs to go all the way to the end. And it's going, it's going. Hold on, I don't really have much of a good shot over here, but this is gone all the way until the end. You see? Is nothing there. So that rolled out. And now I'm gonna have to release this and keep this one for a few seconds. Um, I don't know why do you need to keep it for a few seconds. 5 seconds, they say. Okay, I'm removing that, and there's a little bit of blood. So you wrap that one with probably with a new one, not with the same one. But anyways, that's the whole procedure. And if somebody is screaming and shouting on a video channel doing this procedure, just to give you heads up, it's mostly panic because not many people are used to needles. And they can be quite nerve-wracking. Um, so this is it, it's done, and now as you can see, this has moved. Hold on, that's not that's gone to 0. That's gone. This one needs to go all the way down. So now because just to show this again, uh, this you use this, you inject, and no, you see when you push, I don't know how to get this on the camera. When you push, there's nothing. When you release, it opens. You push, you release, nothing. Okay, so you see a little bit more blood, not a big deal. Uh, that is the chubby bit that I'm hiding and secretly preserving from anybody to see. That stops me from going to the swimming pool and all, and now I'm recording it on camera for the interest of science. This is what you need to do. I hope you see it because I was talking crap. So I'm putting this back on the needle, and this needle is wasted. That needs to go to garbage. And now, since this is all done, you need to pull it out. And how you do it, I think you unscrew it the way that you screwed it. So you screw it anti-clockwise, and it's going to come out at some point. Yeah, this. So this one is gone. That's garbage. You have new ones over here to use for the next one. You don't reuse this one. What do you do with that one? You put it here, and then you can close this so you don't somebody doesn't get injured. And here's the remaining. So we have 1, 2, 3 more. That's going to be for this is going to be for first week, second week, third week, fourth week, and this here is going to be left over. And at the end, if I do find a syringe, I will show you how to extract it with syringe and how to use it if you want, because this is 120, 130 pounds, the cheapest you can find. And if you divide that by 4, that means that this one would be, like around 30 pounds. So that one. And you don't want to dispose 30 pounds because it's a equally good medicine, just that they have to leave it there for the priming. When you put the new needle and you have to prime it, you need to have extra. So that's what that extra is there. Apparently, there's a way how to use it with this one, just push a lot, but apparently it's not nice. It's better to use a syringe. I don't even know if I'm gonna do that. 130 pounds is not that much money. I burn a lot of money. Imagine if you drink alcohol, 30 pounds is gonna be your kebab at the end of the night. So 120 pounds is easy for somebody, big guy like me who drinks alcohol. I stopped many years ago. I used to finish 120 quid on a Friday night easy, just on beer. So this is it. That one is done. What do you do now? You put this one back into your package over here. You put that into your package as well, and maybe these ones, if you want to read them at some point, but I'm not going to read them now on the channel and bore you to death because I explained all that differently. But if you have time, why not do it? So hold on. This one has like a space. Is that for this? Maybe it's that. And I explained everything that is prescribed here with the video at the beginning. So if you want to read, please go ahead. If you're the reading type, I might read it sometimes on the train when I'm bored. This goes to the bin here. So now let's talk about how did I choose this, and if you decide to get Mounjaro, how do you buy your own? Let me change the camera first. Camera going back to the MacBook Pro. There we are. I need to reduce this. Okay, there we are. So now, how did I choose this? And why did I choose? So that's the one that I've chosen, Ashcroft Pharmacy. This is their webpage. I'm not going to go into much more details because it's not the purpose of this video. I just wanted to see that I've done lots of research on the internet, how many people lost weight, but this is my main research here. This is ChatGPT. In case you're not familiar with ChatGPT, everybody is nowadays. So I asked ChatGPT to compare Mounjaro with Wegovy and other drugs weight loss. So it compared Mounjaro with Wegovy, with Sahedra, with loads of different medicines. Okay, so that's all comparison there. I'm not saying that ChatGPT is a reliable place. Your GP is the reliable place. But since I already spoken with my GP and I know that I should take it, At some point, actually, they might give me a different one. If they don't have this one, they might not give me, I don't know. So Mounjaro is ranked as number one according to ChatGPT because it has this dual agonist. That's one appetite suppression, that's something else. So they have those two receptors, and that makes it more effective. It had 22% of body weight in this trial. So that's the name of the trial. You can go and read the trial. And that was based on 50 milligram dose over 72 weeks. 72 weeks. Well, they started basically with the highest dosage. This was 2.5. So you start on the 2.5 dosage. That's the 2.5. And gradually increase. So that's 15. They went straight from the strongest one over 72 weeks. But I don't know how they did the trial. You need to read the trial, but that's they had 22% of body weight reduction in 72 weeks. Now, there are other medicines that you can use. Wegovny, this is just one of those GLP-1, and this one had GLP-1 plus GIP. What is that? I don't know. I'm like a monkey looking at the moon when it talks about medicine. Then you have Sahedra, then you have Orlistat, then you have this one. I don't know which that one. And this is a comparison table. And here you can see Mounjaro had 25%, Wegovny 15%, Sahedra 5 to 10%. Are those numbers correct? I think from what I've seen, they're quite. Oh, by the way, Mounjaro, you have issues with your thyroid gland. Uh, on rodents, this medicine, that the one that I've put on rodents, it showed thyroid tumors on rodents. So you see what I mean? There's always something, like it's never really, so do it if you only have to do it. The most successful 2025 data, Mounjaro. That's the one that I've taken. Clinical consideration. So Mounjaro might cause more nausea, but generally leads to better long-term results. Long-term safety, Wegovny has more published long-term cardiovascular safety data, especially from SELECT trial. Personalization, choice depends on the individual tolerance, comorbidity. That means, do you have any other conditions like I showed you that have difficult breathing and other comorbidities? You see, I really would, if you think I'm struggling with medical terms, I would really like to see a medicine person to talk about AI and blockchain, just to see how they're going to get along. Key points, what does it work? C cells. So if you watched those horror movies and T cells and C cells, this does something with the C cells. So total, okay, yada, 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 yada. Moving on. There we are. So active primary use, Mounjaro, primary use, type 2 diabetes. So you see, this medicine, it's used for type 2 diabetes, and it's been used for a long time. It's FDA approved. That's the US. I trust the US more than the European standards. Why? I don't know, but FDA is usually very strict. And I know Europeans are very critical about it, and they're probably wrong. Because, for example, if you eat farmed salmon in the European Union and the UK, the European Union agencies suggest farmed fish, salmon, to be used twice a week. According to the FDA, they say farmed fish salmon should be used once a month because it contains poisons during the farming. So that is a lot stricter regulation than the European Union, although most people in the European Union, they disagree. But this one doesn't matter who disagrees with what, doesn't matter. This one has the FDA loss approval and the UK, which we talked about at the beginning. So it's approved by the NHS, it's approved by the European Union. I showed you the European link, and it's approved by the FDA. Which one do you choose to believe? All of them are approved. Active weight loss, 22%. Weekly dose from 5 to 15, highest efficiency. So it's this dual agonist. Um, what else do we need to cover here before we end the video? So you see, the average weight loss is probably the most important thing to consider. Mounjaro has the highest according to this. Mounjaro is the dual antagonist, and Mounjaro has been used for type 2 diabetes, and it's approved. I think that's, oh yes, this is why I actually almost forgot short-term memory. How did I get a PhD? The pricing comparison. How did I get the pricing comparison? Well, Ashcroft here, it's 120. as the online doctor is 128. But with Ashra Pharmacy, you have to pay the Royal Mail delivery, which is around 6-7 pounds. With Asda, you can order, and that if you unless you want the Royal Mail special delivery, if you want the standard delivery, you get it delivered in 5-6 days or 3 or 4 days. I don't know. But with Ashcroft, you have to pay next day delivery. Um, so it's cheaper, but you have to pay the postage and it ends up being the same. So if cost is of an issue, and if 5 days they don't make a difference to you, then you might consider the Asta Online Doctor, and I will tell you why in the next section why I got it from these guys. And they actually did send it the next day, but there was some error in my writing of the address and I ordered this because I'm not going to be on this address long enough to wait for that ASDA to be sent. That's the only reason. And this one, what happened, it went to various different places. Eventually, today, finally it got here. But that was my error. I put the address, including the postcode. Then below, I included another postcode, and then you know, I ordered this at 2 o'clock at night because I had a long day of work. Um, so yada yada yada. Yes, this is this is another interesting thing. Regulation. So Asda, why I'm saying that if I'm buying it again, maybe I'll consider Asda because it has this two registrations. So it has registration for whatever that is and care quality commission. So it has those GPHC. That's what it has. So top rated and most reputable pharmacies. So Asda is the same cost like everything else, including if you consider the packaging. So Asda is 128. The one Ashcroft that I ordered is 120, but Asda has two certifications. Ashcroft has only one certification. Now, does that matter? I don't know. But this is the ranking. So if you rank this, Asda is number one because it has two regulatory approvals, best overall. Ashcroft, this one is the cheapest, it's 120 pounds, but it has only one regulation. Safe, but less known. So I ordered on this one. And then I had to pay on top of this 120 pounds, I had to pay £6.70. So it ended up 127 pounds. If you buy it from Asda, it's going to be 128 pounds. And it has two certifications. You make up your mind. I don't work for Asda or anybody else, but two usually sounds better than one. And why is this pharmacy that I ordered, why don't they have the second certification? That's another question that I don't know. If they have an answer, if they say, okay, we didn't apply because we don't need it, fine. But this CQ says Care Quality Commission, that sounds like, important. I don't know. That is it. I will see you in the next video. So I won't record another video until next week. And next week, I'm going to use this tape measure, and I have a plaster here, and I have to remember which side did I use. But I hope that's going to be straightforward, and I'm going to compare. For the first week now, I don't think I'm going to measure my weight, because normally when you start losing weight, everybody that has been on a diet before knows that the first week you just drop a lot of weight. You lose a lot of weight first week. That's the water from your body. But then if you stop dieting, you drink water, you eat a little bit few pizzas, you put it back on. Um, so the first week I'm not going to record my weight. I think that's cheating. It's you show people, oh, I've lost 8 kilograms or I lost stone and a half, and it feels like the medicine is working, but actually maybe it's just the water, and then you recover it back eventually. Um, Now, this is a clinical trial, and as you can see here, this is the placebo that is showing. That's the placebo, which people, they only lost like 3% on the placebo. So even if you have placebo, you might still lose weight if you go on these programs. But here it's showing those different medications and different levels. So if you have more medication, obviously more results you get. So some people lost 20 odd percent. And average weight lost, if you stick to the 5 milligram, you can lose 16%. If you increase it to 10 milligram, you can lose 20 odd percent. 15 milligram, you can lose up to 22%. So let's imagine you're a 100 kilogram guy, or a lady, 100 kilograms. If you drop 22%, you're expecting to get down to the level of 78 kilograms. Very healthy weight, 78. If I could get into that stage, I'll be more than happy. and I will tell you if I have any results. The first thing that I want to report, probably in the next few days before the next shot, is do I feel less hungry? Because that's the key criteria. They say first night you don't feel less hungry, but the next day you don't feel like hungry. So tomorrow I shouldn't be feeling hungry. And usually I go to the market and I bought like a big pork chops tray, 1 kilogram or more. I buy a big pizza for 6 people. Yesterday I bought like big chicken for 12 people. I cooked it in the oven and I ate the whole thing. So if I go to the shop tomorrow and I don't feel like buying a chicken for 12 people, that's a success. I will record it straight away. But if I feel the same, I'm not going to record the video. What should I say? You know, like I've spent 120 quid on this medicine and I still eat a whole chicken for dinner. Um, Hopefully we're going to see some results. Um, and if you're interested in this kind of content, you can subscribe and then follow the journey. Also, just to notice, just to mention, this is a primarily cryptocurrency channel. I started this channel to help people find free cryptocurrencies. When you do some kind of tests for free, you test the project, they give you free crypto at the end. But at the moment, there's nothing. There's nothing really that is. It's all scam. So unless there is a project that it's really committed to giving a part of their crypto for people who test the projects for free crypto, then I don't see why I should be recording that just to trick people in spending their money. I would rather do something like this. And when a new opportunity comes up, obviously I'll record it. If you watch many people who work in crypto now, it's all scam. It's all scam. Everything is just pure scam. Trading and people will lose lots of money. Um, it may be a good time to focus on your health. If you can lose weight and live longer, well, money is not then everything that you need. Anyways, I hope to see you in the next video. Please subscribe. And I should have said that at the beginning. Not many people stay until the end to to watch, but hopefully you stayed until the end. See you in the next one.